In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how the lead generation business model actually works. I'm going to walk you through what lead gen agencies actually sell and why businesses pay for it, the three most common pricing models, and what systems you would need to actually deliver results. So, what are you really selling as a lead gen agency? You're not selling like a list of emails, you're not selling traffic or clicks. None of that. What you're actually selling is booked qualified meetings with real decision makers, with people who actually have the power, to make decisions. Secondly, qualified attention. So you're not just targeting like whatever company there is, for your services. You should be targeting like real potential buyers. So that's what you actually going to be selling to the client. And after all, that's what the clients really care about. They want you to start conversations for them that actually lead to revenue. You would ask me why businesses would pay for such service. One client for these businesses, could be worth like 5,000, 20,000 a month or even more. So they would be happy to pay you, from 100 to $300 per booked meeting, 2K to 5K per month if you're working with them on a retainer. And you could even be doing both, once you scale and you have a top-notch service as well. You would be asking yourself, why wouldn't they do that? Why would they decide to work with you? First of all, business people these days are very busy, so they don't have the time, to do this, or they don't have the team to do this, or they basically don't know how to do it, and they don't have a system in place. So you're saving them a lot of time. You're saving them the headache of hiring an SDR. You're saving them allocating, budget for ads, like if we're talking about marketing agencies, for example. So this is the beauty of lead gen. It's affordable and it's scalable. So there are three pricing models that work. You can charge your client, three different ways. It's either by pay per call, monthly retainer, hybrid model. So let's start with the pay per call. So the pay per call would be like you're setting up the system for them completely free of charge. They pay for the sales tools that you're going to be using for them, and you work with them like on a performance basis. So they would be paying you like from 100 to $300 per qualified meeting booked. And the good thing about this is you can use it when you're first starting out, and it's a low risk for the clients. And it's like I mentioned, it's a great way to start. Secondly, you got the monthly retainer. So in this case, this is something I would recommend if you have case studies, if you compiled them already. So you could be charging anyway from like 1,500 to 3,000 a month. And this is a predictable income, and as you're scaling, this would be really great for your agency. Finally, the hybrid model. So that basically means combining the retainer and the pay per call model. So this is where we're actually going to make the most amount of money every single month. Let's talk about what the client actually gets. So in terms of the deliverables, this would include a list of qualified leads that are verified. That would be like you know contact data, emails, titles, LinkedIn links, location, personalized first lines if you want to include personalization. There could be a lot of things, even phone numbers as well. Secondly, booked sales calls into the client's calendar, which is like the most important part. And you would be updating the clients on a weekly basis on replies, booked meetings, campaign stats like reply rates, and if required by the client, um, you would also be setting up the CRM, or basic reporting. Just as a reminder, clients don't care about the tech stack. They don't care about how you do automations. You know, the only thing that they care about is results. because they're not going to be, watching you, through, the process, what you do, how you source the leads, how you do this and that. They just want straight results. And how you would deliver all of these deliverables. So you would be, first of all, you'd be doing the lead sourcing, and there are a lot of B2B databases out there from which you could get data. I personally use Apollo. It's a really great and affordable tool. You could be using like Zoom Info, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So after you get the data, after you verify it, then you put it in Smart Lead instantly or People AI. That's where the magic happens. That's where the email, the cold outreach automation happens. I personally use People AI. It's really amazing, affordable as well, and has a lot of smart features. There's also like the follow-up automation. It could be like through pre-written sequences and also inbox rotation. And by follow-up automation, I'm like talking about people who did not reply yet. You could be also automating follow-ups for people who already showed interest. It's a bit advanced, but I will be talking about this in a future video. And the way that you would deliver would include reporting as well. Could be through Google Sheets, Notion Tracker, etc. And this would include stats like meeting meetings booked, reply rates, positive reply rates, etc. And you would ask me, can you do this on your own? Can you start, as a solopreneur, or could you be doing this, while working a full-time job? Hell yeah, you can do this absolutely 100%. And the good thing about this is you don't need a team, you don't need a website, you don't need any fancy branding. All you would need is domains and inboxes. It could be Gmail or Outlook. I personally prefer Gmail, and the cold email tool that you can use to automate your outreach. You would need a good quality lead list and a great email copy, and then you can launch the campaign and get great results. And just to show you that this actually works, I'm gonna give you like a real world proof. I've personally booked more than 300 sales calls in the last 11 months, with world class brands like FedEx, Razor, Givaudan, ABB, Cloudflare, etc. And I started by myself, you know, just watching like videos on YouTube, checking community online communities, and once I started getting results, once I started generating revenue, then I started using more automation and hired someone to help me, with the admin stuff. And this is not theory. This is not fluff. If it works for me, it will absolutely work for you. And you just need to set your mind to it. When you set your mind to something, you will definitely get really great at it. And once you get great at it, then people would definitely hire you and pay you well to do this for them. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.